to the video. Today we're going to be doing part 3 of What If We Were Naruto. Say hi, Dominic. Alright, so let's get started. So we left off last time with them completing that super duper hard mission, but we also got a problem, so I'm gonna fix that problem with holes, and it's like cheese. Okay, no, that's cringy. It's like a puzzle piece. It's like a puzzle. Some of the pieces don't fit together. Just like how we killed the Sound 4 in the last episode of this treacherous journey of us in Naruto. We killed the Sound 4 and Kabuto. So who's gonna go pick up Sasuke? Who, you ask? The Sound 4. Orochimaru's just gonna reanimate them and go get them. He's probably just gonna go kill Zaku or Dosu. But we're not gonna do that yet. I just realized how our characters couldn't even kill the Sound 4. That we just made them. Yeah. What do we do? Well, it's even on. Oh yeah, we did say we'd do Predator versus Terminator. We'll do that when he gets on. Well, it doesn't have to be right now because we're in the middle of a recording. I'll just talk about it. So guys, since the Sound 4 are dead, we're not going to talk about that anymore. The tuning exams would come up. Anko would give them the tuning exams forms. He'd be like, alright. Christian is going to be training himself to the limit till he can absolutely destroy Sasuke and absolutely embarrass him. Because he wants to, just so everyone will realize that Sasuke is an absolute idiot. And he's not even strong. So when he gets home, he tells Naruto, hey Naruto, I am going to absolutely destroy Sasuke in the Chunin exams. No cap, destroying Sasuke. He says, not if I do it first. He says, oh really, Naruto? He says, yeah. Christian says, oh. Okay, senor. I guess we will figure that out. I have to go work on a new form that I'm working on. He says, what new form? He says, what? Tell me. He says, nope. You'll find that out in the Chunin exams finals. In the Chunin exams. I'll show it off. After a while, he finally masters his form. After like a couple of days, well actually a couple of hours, he masters it. Since it's not that hard to master, it's pretty easy. You don't really need chakra control that much to use it. Now Dominic would be at the Senju place, having his best life, as you would want to say. Oh yeah, if you also realized, in this story, Dominic is technically related to Tsunade in this story. If you realize it. Dominic, if you realize in the story, you're kind of related to Tsunade. What? Since if you realize in the story, you're sent. That would be pretty cool, but Tsunade doesn't know any Senju techniques. That's true. She just knows monster strength. Which is in medical ninjutsu, but you don't want to be a medical ninja because you can just heal anything else. So after Dominic would go to the Hokage office, asking if there's any scrolls left by Hashirama that he can use to train. He says, yes, but I don't really know why I should give this to you since it's way too overpowered for getting, and it's gonna literally will wipe you through the tuning exams. And he says, I don't care. He goes, fine, and he gives him a scroll to the Wood Dragon Jutsu. Dominic now gets the Wood Dragon Jutsu, and he goes, wow, looks like me and Christian can combine our attacks. He goes, what are you talking about? He says, me and Christian knows the Water Dragon Jutsu. I don't know how he knows it, probably because he just randomly learned it after. He says, well, that's stupid. That's stupendous, just like Barney says, stupendous. So basically, Barney is a dinosaur of our imagination. I need to stop with that. So basically, let's start off with the tuning exams. So after Dominic learns the Wood Dragon Jutsu, and Christian masters his new form, and Dominic actually learns Senju Sage Mode, even though that's a little overpowered at the beginning of the series, so I'm not going to give it to him, because that's way too overpowered. But my dude... Yeah, you have Wood Dragon Jutsu, so you're not gonna learn Senju Sage Mode till like Shippuden or some crap. Because that's way too overpowered. Way too over. You just basically destroy everyone else in a fight. The only person who could probably beat you is, who could even at full power, they probably still can't beat you, is my character. He still won't even be able to beat you if you got Senju Sage Mode. Yeah, what mission is it called? Tell me what it is.
It's the bar one.
I don't know which one that is, dude. I've already completed that one.
I'll go to the bar and see. Okay.
I think I might be. I'm gonna go to C. I'm gonna go to D rank first. See if I find it. Anything there? Probably no. Nope. So let me try his C rank. C. Go to your missions and see which one is urgent new.
Oh,
Alright, Gamabunta and Pearl.
yeah.
I know that one. Alright, we're doing it. And I started it. So guys, so basically when the student exam, Christian's like, "What's up, frickers?" I'm kidding, he wouldn't do that. That'd be funny if someone just kicks down the door. So no, imagine you just bust down the door. Hola, niño. Nah, we're not gonna do that though. So when they walk in the door, they're like, they're like, "Hey, Naruto." Christian goes, "Yo, Naruto, what's up?" He goes, "Hey." He says, "Oh, hey, Sasuke." And he goes, "Wow, edgelord, by the way." He'd go, "What?" And he says, I was just talking about how I'm gonna destroy you in the tuning exams. Am I right, Dominic? How we're gonna absolutely clap this man?" And he goes, "Yep." And he says, "Well, Sasuke, I kind of want to challenge you to a quick fight." I say that. And Rock Lee's like, "Ooh, a fight. I want to do it." He says, "I would like to join the fight too." He says, "Alright, well, we're using ninjutsu, Rock Lee. I don't give a crap of what you say." He goes, "How do you know my name?" He says, "You're Rock Lee, the random guy who only knows taijutsu, yet everyone thinks my guy can only use taijutsu, but really he knows a ninjutsu called Hiradora, even though I don't think that's ninjutsu." How is Gamabunta losing to Shukaku, yet he beat him in the beginning of the series?
Yeah.
How does that make any sense? It must have been like well, I mean, Shukaku never ever used a Tail Beast Bomb, if you think about it. Whatever, let's just get started. So after that, so basically, the fight, they propose a 2-on-2. Christian and Dominic versus Rock Lee and Sasuke. Naruto's like, "Come on, let me join," he says. Christian says, "Nah, Naruto, you don't got a Kekkei Genkai or any secret power. I'm sorry. Okay, you have a secret power, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Let us do the fighting. We want to fight so I can prove to Sasuke that he's going to get destroyed." He says, "Sasuke does not deserve to be here. He does not deserve it. He is a bot. He only passed off a pure skill. He didn't even pass off a pure skill. It was luck. Literally, Sasuke is born talented. He didn't do anything for his hard work. He did nothing." Alright, shoot, we got Shukaku. My jutsus are pretty much useless against Shukaku. So let's just get started. So basically, when the fight would start, Christian would say, "Dominic, I just thought of a brand new combo move." He says, "What is it?" He says, "This might destroy the no, this is our what if, remember?"
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He says, I got a brand new combo move." He says, "Dominic," he says, "I have a brand new combo move. The Double Dragon Jutsu." He says, as they're whispering, he's like, "Are you two gonna fight or are you two just gonna talk?" They say, "We're planning out a strategy. Shut it, Sasuke." Sakura with a vein on her face says, "Aw, shoot, uselessness is mad. I don't give a crap." Naruto goes, oh yeah, since no one's ever said that to her because they know what's gonna happen, he just said it, and I don't think he gives a crap. Christian hears that and says, I don't give a crap, that's the thing! So when the match starts, they'd say, well, he says, one move. Christian points up one finger, and he says, what does that mean? He says, one move. We will use one move to destroy you both. Shoo! I hate this freaking Shukaku barrier. I hate this. Whatever, I weakened him. So basically, when they'd start, Christian would say, Christian, since the Uzumaki chains aren't moves, they're just, he says, so what are you gonna do? Use your weak, he says, Sasuke says, you don't even have a Kekkei Genkai. I don't even think you could beat me. He says, bruh, I'm an Uzumaki. Of course I got a Kekkei Genkai. He says, releasing the Uzumaki chains, literally binding up Sasuke and Rock Lee, and he says, that's my Kekkei Genkai. He says, ready, Dominic? He goes, yeah. So then he says, Dominic, you mind using that jutsu? He says, sure. He says, oh yeah, we lied about the one jutsu. It's a little thing called lying in the shinobi world. We're using 2 jutsu. That's all we really need. He says, you ready, Sasuke? I mean, you ready, Dominic? Yeah. He says, use that move. And Dominic, that's Deep Force Emergence. Dominic would say, Deep Force Emergence. Literally holding him in, and he's like, what the? That's the first Hokage's move. And he says, yeah, Dominic's a Senju, you dummy. You didn't realize that? Wait, so then he says, he'd say, fire style, fireball jutsu. Burning it. Then Dominic would add more. It's like, you know Madara's and Hashirama's secret attack? Yeah. Where like Hashirama does the Deep Force and Madara just enhances the fire, and so does him. Basically, they do that, and then once the once Sasuke and Rock Lee are all burnt out, he says, "All right, Sasuke, you ready for?" He says, "All right, Dominic, ready for a secret move?" He says, "Dominic, say it." Yeah. He says, they both say at the same time, water and wood style. He says, double dragon, twin dragon blast. They create 2 dragons, 2 water, 1 water, and 1 thing, and they combine into like, it's a wood dragon but with water armor. It goes going for the bite on him. Ready to hit them, but then Might Guy appears, and he takes the full brunt of that attack, actually damaging Might Guy. Might Guy says, release the chains on them or else they'll be suffocated. He says, fine, and releases the chakra chains. Then he puts them again and puts a spear, cutting right through all the wood. Sasuke and Rock Lee are completely unconscious. He goes, shoot, I'm sorry. How about I wake him up? He says, Dominic, do it. Dominic would heal him up, and he's like, wait. Izumi would heal up the Rock Lee and Sasuke to wake them up. Finally, they wake up and they say, what happened? He says, we absolutely destroyed you with our combo attack, but it even hurt Might Guy with an attack. He says, you hurt Guy Sensei? How dare you? He says, whoa, hold the phone, Rock Lee. He did this to himself. He took the brunt of the attack of our twin water wood dragon. What?
You know how I have an Oculus VR?
Yeah.
If you have one to like what if in VR, they have Naruto.
Yeah, but we have to design all our characters and all that crap.
There's like a little world where you can where you can go and like pick Naruto characters that you could like use.
But you can't design them. But you can't design them.
No, but like it's very like if you want somebody to cosplay this kind of like the actual person and do you want like Kid Sasuke?
I think I have enough to buy an Oculus.
How much do you have?
I have like $190, but I think the Oculus is like $500.
It's like
When my mom looked it up, she said it was like $500.
It's 350.
Alright.
That's how much it is.
I still haven't got my birthday. Oh yeah, guys, my birthday was yesterday. And I didn't get a birthday gift because I couldn't decide what I wanted.
I was going to get you a thing, a card, but I was like,
Yeah, it's fine, man. So let's just get started. Hold on a minute!
What?
This dude just went through the stairs! Back to the what if. So once they do, it's time for the exam. When they do it, Dominic would actually do something cheeky.
Christian, this is after talk to God, but it says 15. I'm gonna put this down.
So basically Dominic puts a piece of wood, does a deep force emergence under him, breaking through the floor, grabbing another student's paper. Well, actually, no, he actually does this. He saps the energy out of someone with a tree, saps their energy out, and once they go to sleep, their whole team is kicked out, so then he snatches that paper and looks at all the answers. Christian says, well, that's smart, in his head. He says, well, I guess I could ask someone for help. He goes, and if you're thinking, how is he going to ask someone for help? He says, well, my friends, he's got someone in his head. Dominic, you know who that is in his head? Kurama! Since Kurama's been alive since the Sage of Six Pass, he might know a lot. He asks Kurama all kinds of questions, and Kurama can answer them all. So he passes the test. Dominic and him pass the test. They got the score of Itachi, not of the fourth Hokage, because he did it insanely fast. When he does, he says, "You two are done." He says, "Yup." Christian asks Dominic, "Yo, how did you pass the test?"
I don't know.
Just say you put wood under it. I'll explain it. So Dominic says, I basically sapped someone's energy out with wood, stole their paper, and just did all their answers. And Chris says, how do you know they were all right? He says, I took it from the smartest person here. He goes, oh. And Dominic says, how did you get them all right? He said, how did you pass yours? Christian says, I asked Kurama. Kurama's been through many shooting exams. He says, isn't that right, Kurama? He says, yup, I've been through way too many shooting exams for me to actually live. He goes, that's... Alright, yeah, I'll start a game. Sadly, when they go, they actually all pass. Izumi actually passes because of her Byakugan. Izumi passes because of her Byakugan. And Izumi says, hey, you guys! And they go, hey, he says, how long? I heard you guys was fast as Itachi Uchiha. He says, yeah. She says, how did you guys pass? Christian says, this guy. He points to his head and she says, your head? He says, no! Hold on, give me a second. He goes into his cube. He lets Kurama take over for a second. He says, B. He goes, oh, the Nine-Tailed Fox helped him. He says, quiet, Izumi, we don't want them to know that we cheated. He says, Naruto walks up and says, oh, you guys cheated? Sasuke did too. Sasuke says, I did too. He goes, alright. He says, how did Dominic cheat? He says, Christian just says, he sapped the energy out of someone and then took their paper. He says, well, that's smart. He says, what did you do? Christian says, I don't know how many times I want to explain this. He goes, all I did was I asked Kurama the questions. He says, who's Kurama? He says, this guy inside of me. He goes, oh. And he says, isn't Kurama genderless? And he goes, look, I don't care. He said, Kurama says, that's offensive. And he goes, oh, quiet. I didn't even know. No one knows the Tail Beast genders. And he goes, true. So, basically, I'm gonna guess all the Tail Beast genders now. Shukaku, the one tail, probably a boy. Yeah. Matatabi, the two tails, probably a girl, as you see by the voice in the English dub. Yeah. Isobu, probably a boy. Son Goku, probably a boy. Kokuo, probably a girl. Saiken, probably a girl. Chome, probably a boy. Yuki, probably a boy. And Kurama, probably a boy. And the Jubi is definitely genderless.
What the 8-tails is, I mean, not the 8-tails, but the 8-tails is but the 10-tails
is genderless.
Yeah. Oh, it's a base battle again.
Well, that's stupid. I hate base battle now. Wait, this guy has the 9 tails. This guy, oh, yo, the lightning swords. Whatever, guys. So back to this. For the Forest of Death, this is a pretty good thing. So when they walk in, they decide to team up with Team 7 because they're like, you know, I'm like basically Naruto's cousin, aka brother. I'm basically Naruto's brother, so why don't I just work with him? He says, work more. So after asking Team 7, for some reason they actually say yes. Some reason it actually works. So when they do this, they walk over and they're all hit by a gust of wind. Rin's like, shoot, we're screwed. He says, oh no, not you. Oh God, please no, no, no. And everyone's like, who is that? He says, that is Orochimaru. He says, how do you know? He doesn't even look like Orochimaru. He says, duh, Orochimaru kills. You didn't realize that Orochimaru kills everyone he sees because he's dumb? Because he doesn't realize that not everyone has a good body? He says, I bet you Orochimaru only does that because he can't get a girlfriend. Orochimaru's like, what did you say, you insolent little brat? Sasuke says, for us almost getting killed, this guy's enthusiastic. Izumi says, that's how he is every single day. Even if we're in a dire situation, he'll still try and make the thing better. He says, why would he do that? Because we're in a near-death experience, uselessness. Izumi says, because we're in a near-death experience, Sakura. What, you want us to be uncomfortable in a near-death experience? She says, well, and he goes, all you are is a Sasuke simp and nothing else. And she goes, well, you like Sasuke too. And she says, no, I don't. If anything, I would rather never ever go on a date with Sasuke. Sasuke is ugly ass. That's what Izumi said. She goes, I never ever will like Sasuke. And Sakura just stutters and says, well, good, because I will beat you up if you ever go next to Sasuke. And she says, yeah, right, uselessness. And Christian's like, this is a battle of the roast now. Not even a battle of literally like the Chunin exams. He says, I think this alliance was a mistake. He says, yeah, I think so too. He says, well, how about this? Want to play a prank on them? And he goes, we're in the middle of a near-death... Dominic says, we're in literally a near-death experience. What's the point of a prank? He goes, yeah, you're totally right. He goes, yeah, you're totally right. I don't even know why I said that. Let's do a real prank on Orochimaru. He goes, you idiot! You fucking idiot! You idiot! That is the dumbest idea I have ever freaking heard! He says, I don't care. So, yeah, basically. Oh my god! Literally no one comes in this area or else they want solid fog to the face. So basically, I think I won it for us. I killed 2 of them.
No, like when you have to win the base.
Oh. I say this water pillar is really overpowered. I will defend my territory! territory! Get out of our territory! Yes! Our first win of the day!
All together. Yeah.
Let's go! That dude had 8 kills and 1 death. Let's just get started. Back to this. So when they're like, alright, well, it's time to fight, so whatever. So they all get in a fighting stance, getting ready to fight Orochimaru. Sasuke would immediately rush and say, Katon go Kekkyu no Jutsu. Naruto isn't even there because he got swallowed by a snake. So it's just, so the fight is basically just Izumi, Christian, Dominic, and Sasuke. Because you don't know what Useless isn't doing. Just in fear. Because she can't do crap. So when they're running around and they're trying to pummel Orochimaru, it's not doing crap. Christian says, come on, Uselessness, do something! She says, and doesn't even say anything. He says, and then Christian gets an ID. He says, Sasuke, I know you're gonna hate me for this. Yeah.
No, I was just watching some like Naruto, and they used him in the system.
Ooh. So Christian says, sorry Sasuke, this is I don't really want this to happen to you, but I gotta if we want to actually have our full force fighting. Sorry Sasuke, I'll see you in the next life. He says, Sakura, if you come down here and you fight us with Orochimaru, maybe Sasuke will go out with you. And she goes, what? Sasuke go out with me? And just rushes, starts fighting Orochimaru, and then he's like, is that all I had to do? Just tell her that Sasuke's going on a date with her? And he says, Sasuke, for me, just go on the date. He says, later on, just do it. He says, fine. And then they all start fighting. Orochimaru, once Naruto gets there, Christian would say, ha! Going into his. Basically his Kyuubi state, and start pummeling Orochimaru with Sasuke and his 2 Tomoe Sharingan. Dominic in his wood state, shooting wood dragons out, biting Orochimaru. Going, ah! Pummeling Orochimaru until Izumi shuts down her chakra points, shuts down his chakra points in his legs, and then they punch Orochimaru in the face, but he would release those chakra points. But then, something dumb would happen. Dum-dum-da-dum-dum. Orochimaru would start getting really, really serious. Then Sasuke would say, they're all relying on me. And then he'd go into his 2 Tomoe Sharingan state, full power. Christian would say, alright Sasuke, I think we're ready for this. He says, hey Dominic. And then he says, you too, Sasuke. Sasuke says, I've developed a brand new jutsu to help us out with that combo attack. He says, ooh. Basically, all 3 of them rush, pulling Orochimaru into a ninja wire. Sasuke would say, clone? You'd say shadow clone jutsu, because somehow Sasuke knows how to make one clone. He creates a clone, and then it says, fire style dragon flame jutsu. He says, dragon flame jutsu. Person says, oh hell yeah. He says, Dominic, you ready for this? They'd just be spamming hand signs, and Christian would be like, itchy on it. Dominic, you mind playing it, please? Actually, I'll do it. It'll be much quicker. Water Dragon Jutsu Hand Sign Zabuza. Oh, well, I was gonna say I could do it. I got it, bro. I got it. Here we go. Yes. There you go. Then Christian would say, water style! Water dragon jutsu! He'd go, eh! And then he'd say, now, Dominic, your turn. He'd say, wait, I have another thing to do. I put wood dragon jutsu in. It has to be in Japanese since I can't really do it. Alright, it's Mokto. You say Mokto Mokyo Jutsu. And then he says, wood. And then the three dragons would combine and they'd say, three-headed Hydra Blast! I call that three-headed Hydra Blast. They go, Elector! Biting Orochimaru with full force. Going, doing so much damage to Orochimaru, and then like Phil Swift coming saying, that's a lot of damage. How about a little more? Naruto would say, crushing Orochimaru's face into the tree. He would say, hey Sasuke. He says, yo, Dominic, Sasuke, would you like to put this man through some torture? He says, yeah. Christian would say, Christian would throw two kunais, pinning Orochimaru's hands against the tree. Sasuke would throw one shuriken, cutting off Orochimaru's foot into the tree. Dominic would say, pinning with a kunai, pinning Orochimaru's other leg in the thing, and then they say, we have crucified him. Okay, that's a little too far. He says, we... So basically, he's like, why? You know what's kind of cool? I think there's gonna be a pattern in Naruto's family. Want to know what that pattern is? It's probably gonna be like once. Like, there's going to be a prodigy once. The next generation, there's not going to be a prodigy who becomes a prodigy later on, who becomes an ultra strong ninja. Then there's going to be a prodigy who becomes strong. Oh, come on, it's a barrier battle, man. Screw barrier battles. I suck at barrier battles. They're not cool. I thought they were getting rid of those. I thought they got freaking rid of those stupid barrier battles. So basically, when we do this, they'd be like, perfect. So basically, after that, after pinning Orochimaru saying, oh, frick, going, oh, they say, well, this is fun. We've just pinned him to a tree. Now what we're gonna do? He says, Sasuke, Dominic, would you like to burn him to death with a fireball? Yeah. They go, or not, they go, fire style, fireball jutsu. Saying, but then the clone it just turns into mud, and he goes, shoot, that was a mud clone jutsu, Dominic, we're screwed. He goes, Dominic, we're screwed. Okay. Then Orochimaru would bite Sasuke on the neck, giving him the heavenly curse mark. Then he would just absolutely destroy everyone else with no difficulty. He'd just absolutely murder almost everyone there, absolutely destroying them all. except for Sakura, because he just leaves her there because he doesn't really care, because he thinks that it's useless to fight someone who's already useless. He thinks that's pretty dumb. He thinks that's dumb logic to fight someone who's already basically useless. Sakura isn't even offended by this. She just wants to help her poor Sasuke, even though her Naruto has the 5 freaking prong seal on him. Oh, and then Christian says, if you're only gonna care for Sasuke, then I might have to tell you the truth. She says, what do you mean the truth? He says, Sasuke was never gonna go on a date with you. She goes, what? He was never... Dang, so he says, you were never going on a date with Sasuke. I just said that so you'd actually try. And she says, and she says, if you don't take care of him, then Sasuke really will never like you. He says, why won't Sasuke like me? He says, because you only care about him. You don't care about your other teammate. What if, Christian says, if Sasuke had full energy and was hanging off a cliff, but could easily get back on, and Naruto, who had no chakra left, hanging off a bridge, who would you go and help? And she'd say, well, Sasuke, of course, because he's hanging off a bridge. He says, but Sasuke's got full amount of chakra. He can easily get back up by himself, but he can't right now because he doesn't want to. He wants to see. So basically when they do that, Sakura would immediately say, my Sasuke. Person says, you are too addicted to Sasuke, my friend. You need to, like, stay off the Sasuke. You need to stay off the Sasuke. He says, you need to stay off the Sasuke. And she says, what's the Sasuke? And he says, just help us, goddammit, before Orochimaru freaking 5-prong seals me. And he says, oh yes, you're Jinchuriki too. 5-prong seal. Christian's like, shit. Getting knocked out. Dominic would just... The people who would need to help is Dominic, Izumi, and the people who would need to carry Naruto, Sasuke, and Christian would need to be Dominic, Sakura, and Izumi, because they're the only ones who are actually up and ready to fight, and they could actually do stuff, except for Sakura, because Christian just lied to Sakura. He was never actually gonna tell Sasuke, he was never actually gonna give Sakura that date that she wanted with Sasuke. So when they take them to the under tree thingy, he goes, God dang it, Sakura, you are annoying. He said, basically, Kurama's trying to wake up the kid by yelling and screaming and using tail beast bombs, but it ain't working. Kurama thinks that he's going to start disappearing soon, and he says, but that's just the 5-prong seal. So there is absolutely nothing to worry about. Oh, Dominic, attack the guy, attack Gamakichi.
I have 8 gates.
Use it! Use the power of youth. The power of youth. Let's go!
I do pretty good at this.
Alright, we got a viewer who just joined and left. Dominic. We had someone someone just joined the stream and left, and I know who it was. It's Abigail. I read my comments. Oh. The power of you. The power of you. Okay, I get it. You don't have to spam in my chat. Chat. Abigail Maduris. Chat lives matter too. You don't have to spam the chat. Chat lives matter too.
I
Nice. Oh dang it. The power. Great. It doesn't even say she's watching. It just says it's a 0, and then get back, mother fricker! Get back, mother fricker!
When that happened to you, I was watching, and then I was watching the stream.
Yeah. I just got hit by a giant. Oh, the barrier's gone! Come on! Full power! Dodge! I know, but we gotta kill Gamaki. Ah! Dominic, you gotta spam him once I get back in. Can you play that soccer anime game? Not right now, not right now. Dominic, you gotta hit him with full power. We gotta... Come on! No!
Wait,
Dominic! Yeah, the demo, it's the demo. No! Oh, it's overtime! It's overtime, we gotta kill him! We gotta kill Gamakichi quickly!
Only if I have the power of youth.
You have to use it! Use it! Oh, I heard. Thank you. Come on! No! Come on! Come on! Come on! Let me go! No! Ah! No! Yes, fine, I'll play it, guys. That's the end of the part for now. I am going to end the stream.